We can. Okay.
We're on.
Okay. Good evening. I'd like to call the meeting to order. It is 5:03. Can everybody stand for the invocation? And we'll have Commissioner Douglas give it, please.
Heavenly Father, we come to you this evening. We ask that you be with those who have lost, that you fill their broken hearts with your love and spirit. We ask that you be with those who are sick and those who are in jail, that they may return to the community in a better way. We ask that you be with this commission and across the land with other government agencies, that they may do the best that they can for the people they serve. We want again to ask that our officers, that our soldiers stay safe as they do a difficult job. And we are grateful, forever grateful for your promise that you left us. Amen. If we may, we have a moment of silence for Rowena Bocc. She passed last weekend, Monday.
Thank you, Glenn. Next is the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I salute the flag of the state of Mexico. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Aguilar,
President.
Vice Chair Secretary, Commissioner Duggins,
Here.
Commissioner Gonzalez, and Chair Martinez.
President, ma'am.
Mr. Chairman, before we start, maybe somebody could help me with Rowena. She was treasurer, she was commissioner, she was very active across the community. I know she cared deeply of the San Antonio Church. She did a lot of service in her lifetime. Did she do anything else in the county? She was treasurer, she was commissioner. Was she Nance?
I know treasurer and commissioner. That's she. If I may.
Yeah.
She actually was a commissioner with the New Mexico State Police that later turned into the Department of Public Safety, and she played a major role in getting the new District 11 officer, along with increase in manpower, which kept the citizens of this county more protected. She also was significant in donating and getting her family to donate pieces of property in San Antonio for us to continue with the San Antonio flood control project.
Just recently. And the best hamburgers ever, no?
Thank you, Commissioner Douglas. On approval of the agenda, before we approve it, I would like your permission, Commissioners, to move item F up to right after we approve the agenda. And also we have many residents here that have public comment, I understand. So we can do them right after F, if that's all right.
So that's gonna happen right after the approval of the agenda,
Yes.
which is,
And then public comment right after NF. You in agreement, Commissioners?
Yes, I'll make that motion.
Motion by Commissioner Billings, second by Commissioner Aguilar. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed? The agenda is approved with those two changes. Okay, item F, 10F. Revision to the agreement with the Village of Magdalena for animal control to consider the village's request to waiver the animal control fee. Mike?
And I certainly talk about it if you'd like.
Mr. Chairman, members of the commission, I believe at the last meeting, or perhaps the meeting before last, I don't remember now, you all approved an agreement with the Village of Magdalena for animal control. And the agreement sets forth, first of all, the law, which the law requires that all counties make provision for animal control and all municipalities make provision for animal control as well. So it's one of those statutory jobs that we have to do as a county or a municipality like the village. Of course, since we currently have an animal control officer and the village doesn't. So this MOU is set up to provide assistance to the village for animal control services. Basically, it sets forth how to call for the services and liability and the other general things. It also does specifically state that Magdalena will pay the county a rate of $35 per hour worked for the animal control office. That rate is the rate that our finance department determined is what it costs us per hour to deploy an animal control officer. So it's not making a profit by any means, it's just covering that rate. It also requires that if we take an animal into custody, we are sharing the services of the city of Socorro. So they would be allowed to use those services, but that would be a pass-through cost, and this, whatever the city bills us, that would go to the village as well. And I'll certainly let the Honorable Mayor speak for himself, but I believe the request is to waive the $35 fee. It is solely, because they're a municipality, it does not violate the anti-donation clause to waive the fee. That said, it's within this board's discretion whether you want to increase the fee, keep the fee the same, you have the right to waive it as well. So, but that's up to you, this board.
Mike?
Thank you, Chairman Martinez, Commissioners. Thank you, Attorney Nance. I'd like to just add a caveat. I'm all for assisting the Village of Magdalena. However, when we respond to animal control calls and we end up seizing whatever animal it is, if it goes to the city, then we are charged an exorbitant amount. Well, it's absorbent because the costs are high, not that the city's making a great deal of money. So I'd like to add that we did not add in those costs that the city, that we will have to pay the city for handling Magdalena's animal control issue. And the other thing is that maybe just food for thought is that Magdalena accounts for about 5% of the county's population, at 808 people. That census is a little quirky. But so maybe if you decide to pay that, or maybe a split, if we seize the animal, split with Magdalena, but if the amount of calls for service exceed 5%, then Magdalena would have to remove those costs. Something along those lines, but I'm all for assisting the Village of Magdalena. Just, again, it's cost perspectives, and that's my only worry.
Okay.
If I might, just to be clear about the two separate provisions, the $35 fee is for deploying the animal control officer. The pass-through fees are what the city charges us. So you could waive them both. I would suggest not waiving the pass-through fee though, because otherwise then we're actually have to pay cash for another entity's behalf. So I think if they would like to have that fee waived, they should request that of the city of Socorro, and maybe they would waive that fee, maybe for us to.
What is?
It's, when we take animals,
What is the going rate right now for the basset fee?
Off the top of my head, they charge us for everything. First of all, every animal that is brought in has to be vaccinated and then cared for. And then if they're found to have a disease, they have to be taken care of for that disease. So I've seen bills as high as $500 for 4 days. So it just depends. You can get it from anywhere from, and then there's a daily fee and food fee and maintenance fee. So I've seen anywhere from $120 bill for a day or two to I think they're required to hold them 7 days and before they make the decision of euthanization. And then they even charge for euthanization. So the fees can get pretty high.
Mr. Chairman, you said $35 an hour? $34 an hour?
35 is what this board approved for deploying the animal control. So that's when he's out in the field.
When he goes to
When
Magdalena?
he goes to Magdalena, that is not the fee for the holding them at the Socorro shelter.
And when that fee in reality does not cover all costs, but we're trying to be as lenient as possible.
okay, I will share some comments after we hear from the mayor. You have the podium, Mayor. Is the mayor from Magdalena? Richard Rump.
This came up from our attorney, the $35 an hour. It was like an open contract and our attorney questioned it and stuff. I understand there's some fees. We've offered Socorro $150 a month to offset some stuff. All this has come up. We have to look at our budget and try to offset. I understand there's other costs involved. The reason I asked for to waive it on there was feedback from our attorney. It's how often we use this depends on availability of space at Socorro. We have people cited into court right now for dangerous animals. They've been attacking animals up there, people's donkeys and stuff. Let's say the $35 waiver request came from our attorney. We need to look at other costs so we can budget those kind of money for it. So I'm not opposed to some other fees. We just need to see how much money we can set aside for it. But there is 150 out there right now that City of Socorro never invoices those for. So we haven't done that for the last 2-3 years. So, but that was just, as I say, just passing on something from our attorney. So we need probably do a separate agreement looking at the actual cost of this. So your officer has been, when he's been up there, he cited some folks, picked up some animals. And we have right now just a couple individuals that are causing major problems. So as I say, it's just coming from our attorney. So we need to come up with a better plan, I guess. So.
Okay, Mayor. My comment is, this all came about a while back. There was some dogs that attacked some animals in Magdalena and hurt them pretty bad. And in Magdalena, not only in Magdalena, but through the county, dog problem is an issue. 2 years ago or 3 years ago, we had a gentleman come in and approach us. His daughters had some show animals and they went in and killed them. And he asked for our help then. That's the reason that the commission, if I remember correctly, approved to hire an animal control officer and a code enforcer. Also, he's in the back there. He's going to give a presentation in a while. I think it's helped since he's been on there. But like with you, Mayor, if there's a dog issue in the city limits, your marshals and your deputies will probably take care of it, correct?
Yes, we try. We've ordered 4 live traps and a cage for one of our pickup trucks, so we can help with this. So we're aware of the situation. We're just trying to figure out how we can implement this and protect the people. We've got people attacked by dogs, you're just walking and stuff. So it's becoming a issue.
Well, there was a young lady, not too young, but she was attacked a block from my house, 3 dogs, and they bit her pretty bad. She walks every day, and she ran to my house. She didn't want to call the police or anything, but it is an issue. I think, I know Commissioner Duggins had mentioned one time that we should consider putting kennels at the detention center, remember? And have our inmates help us manage some of these dogs to help the city. It was just talking. I don't know where that'll go. But I think that we need to look at it, like our manager said, how much it cost us. And I think we need to work together, not just the village of Magdalena, but any community to help control the dog issue. And I'll say this, the animals are truly not at fault, I feel. It is their owners. If you have an animal, you need to take care of it, you need to have it corralled and stuff like that. But some of these dogs are all over it. I'm scared somebody's gonna get greedy.
We do have some sort of nonprofit folks up there to try to take in animals and rehome them and stuff. So there are people involved trying to deal with more of the vicious animals. Professional help.
Mr. Chairman,
Go ahead.
does the animal control officer go out to the Alamo, or is no? I mean, what's the difference of getting a dog in the Magdalena area as opposed to Santa Acacia, Limitar, or San Antonio? I mean, either way, the amount of money is just really not much, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's $35 covers the gas, the insurance, what it costs for an officer to work for 1 hour, their wages. That's
You mean it's a $35 set?
that's what the contract is with Magdalena, is for deploying the officer, $35 per hour for the officer's time.
So
Now,
if he's up there 10 hours, it's $350.
that's right. And if he's up there a half hour, it's half of that. Now, on the other hand, to answer Commissioner Secretaro's question really quick, what the city charges, if I have the right numbers, is an intake fee of $30, intake shots $30, boarding $7 a day, quarantine $14 per day, laboratory $80, euthanasia $17, and disposal $10. So those are just cumulative fees that add up.
On the agenda, the village of Magdalena is requesting a waiver for the $35. But I agree with our manager that if those costs go quite a bit, they would have to help us with that. And I think that's where you and our manager have to meet and discuss that. If it goes to a certain amount.
Because that's something I'm not asking the county to absorb. We just need to look at the parameters of it, and that's what came from our attorney.
Maybe
So I know the animal control officer, he's not gonna put in 30 hours up there and, and
I guess what I would say to that, Mr. Mayor, is the village is in 100% control of this agreement, in that if you want, it's not like we're just gonna go out there and start wrangling animals. Basically, you, Mr. Mayor, have to call for service, and you get to say to go out, and if you say you've been there for too long, you can send them home. I mean, it's just, you're in completely control of the budget of this thing. It's not an open-ended contract whatsoever, because it's completely controlled by you.
Okay, that's fine, just so we get clarified on what we're doing.
Mike?
Just one other note, I believe it was maybe a little over 2 years ago, there was actually a individual mauled to death in the northern part of it.
Yeah.
Which the population there is astronomical as well. The thing is, I believe you're incorporated, and so that's what, that's the difference between Olvidera or Limitar versus the village of Magdalena. But again, Mr. Mayor, and we work together on many items. I think we can work this out. I think it's something where we start to track costs, and then if it gets crazy, but again, you're in complete control of that, because he only will work or be dispatched if you call for the service. And then if it looks like a 2-hour call took 8 hours, you would ask us to look into the reasons for that and the costs associated with it. And then we would go from there and see what we would do about that cost for that call for service.
Okay, I'm just looking for clarification.
Okay. I think that's it. You're the man.
Okay.
Okay.
So do we need to vote on, to request a waiver or just
Table it until you guys work something out?
It doesn't sound to me, Mr. Chairman, I mean, you certainly are free to do the waiver, but it seems to me like the agreement's fine as is, and that the mayor controls the deployment. The deployment is $35 an hour. So all there is really at this point is for the village to approve the agreement. So I don't think any action is necessary unless you would like to waive it.
No.
You don't have to, so.
I'm in agreement with that, as long as, we have control over it, and I'll go back to our attorney and explain that to him.
Okay. And what do you,
I just want to move ahead on this, so.
okay. And Pete.
Okay, the next item is public comment.
I'm glad to see there's a lot of residents here. I wish all our commission meetings were attended with that many people. So, but thank you for coming. They provided me a list of who wants to give public comment. And during this portion of our meeting, we welcome your suggestions and want to hear your concerns. This is not a question and answer period. Speakers will be limited to 5 minutes. The county commission is not able to take action on matters discussed during public comment. Speakers are requested to state their name for the record. And Jennifer, once they start, can you time it and tell us when the 5 minutes is up?
Sure.
Mr. Chairman, so the list, that doesn't bar anybody that's not on the list to speak, is that right? Anybody can.
Yeah.
The first one that's on the list is Ms. David Luna.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is David Loon. I reside at 33 Smiddle Road. I want to address the issue of the speed bumps recently installed on Smiddle Road. On February 23rd of 2024, I spent the better part of the day going from house to house circulating a petition for the immediate removal of these speed bumps. I spent at least 6 hours driving from house to house and meeting neighbors that I hadn't met before. I've lived there for 10 years. Throughout the day, I spoke to 25 residents that live on Smiddle Road. Of these 25 residents, 3 would not sign our petition. 22 residents signed our petition. That's 97% of the residents that live on Smiddle Road. To me, that's an overwhelming majority. Majority rules. Majority rule is the principle that the group which has the most supporters, gets to decide the rules that all, including the opposing minority, will be compelled to abide by. These speed bumps were installed without the knowledge of the majority of the residents that live on Smittle Road. Another strong concern that I have is wear and tear for the vehicles that travel on Smittle. These speed bumps are very damaging to the suspension of a vehicle or to farm equipment. There's a lot of farm equipment that goes down that road. The bottom line is that the residents of Smittle Road do not want the speed bumps on our road. Take it into consideration, the voice of the residents that live on Smittle Road. These signatures collected are a reflection of what the people of Smittle Road want. We want the speed bumps removed. Thank you.
Commissioner, thank you, Commissioner Martinez. David, I know I'm not supposed to speak during public comment, but it's not a response. I would just like to see the petition at some point.
You can make a public comment, right?
To give us a copy.
These are a copy for you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Luna.
Thank you.
The next one is Lee Kinney.
Lee Keeney, I'm talking on behalf of Severo Viejo Street. I just want to come in and thank you guys for putting them there. I mean, that deal was pretty dangerous around there. I've had guys hit a fence of mine driving too fast. I had to fix it with my own money. I've had a guy pull out of my yard, get hit between the truck and the trailer. I've lost a dog, which I didn't say they come in my yard and got him, but they got him. And I just thank you guys for putting them in. It's slowed the traffic down quite a bit, and not as much go through traffic, I guess, to get to the frontage road. So thank you guys very much.
Thank you.
The next one is
Rachel Baker.
Good evening.
Good evening.
My name is Rachel Baker. My address is on Trombone Road, but I actually live where Severo Viejo and Trombone connect, where the stop sign is. I also really appreciate the speed bumps that have been put in there. We probably have seen, just an estimate, maybe 75% reduction in through traffic there. People are always going well over 45 miles per hour, even though it's a residential zone. Almost none of them would stop at that stop sign. So it's taken what used to be a fairly dangerous area and made it much safer. So I feel more confident letting my children walk down to my neighbor's house where I would not before. I wouldn't even walk on the road with them before. So I just wanted to let you guys know there are people who appreciate the high traffic areas having those speed bumps because it's really made the road a lot safer for us. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next one is Blake Ringston.
Hello, everybody. I'm Blake. I live on 32 Schmidl. We've been there for about 10, 11 years, I'm guessing. And I don't see any good from the speed bumps. Like David had talked, the wear and tear on the vehicles, farm equipment. If I wanted to live in an HOA, I would move. So, and I feel like this is an encroachment, you know. That's all I've got to say. So I would like them removed. Thank you.
Thank you. The next one is Sam.
My name is Samantha Ringston. I live on 32 Schmidt Road. We've lived there for over 10 years, and in those 10 years, we've never had any traffic incident, any personal damage by a vehicle or anything. It's literally a one-lane road, and if another car comes, you gotta pull over and stop and let the other one by. Nobody really speeds down our road. There's literally 6 speed bumps in 3/4 of a mile. It's a little ridiculous. It also impinges, because there's so many of them, the ability for emergency medical services to respond at all. There's been fires down in the area, and if EMS and fire department need to respond, it will slow them down. I also work in the emergency room, I supervise it, and it's impinging my ability to respond to a mass casualty to help my staff out. I would like them removed.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The next one is Nancy. Randall.
Hi, I'm Fancy Ringston. I live down 32 Schmill Road as well, and I didn't know that they were gonna be put in. I didn't know they were gonna be put in until the day they were already in the ground, and I was very shocked. I think it is a little excessive to have so many there. It's a very small road. I've never seen or heard anybody speeding. I've never heard of any accidents. I drive that road every single day, twice a day or more. And I seen that some residents on that street had a speed bump in front of their property or whatever. And because it was an impingement on their property and their convenience, they had it moved farther up the road for their convenience. And it just doesn't seem right that one person on that road can do that, but everybody on that road doesn't want the speed bumps, but we can't get them removed. So it seems a little out of balance there. I don't think anybody should have the right to move them if it's just an inconvenience. And if they do, then let's just get them gone because nobody wants them there. That's all I got to say.
Thank you. Next one is Gwen Luna.
Hello, my name is Gwen Luna. I live on 33 Schmill Road, and I'm just here. Number one, I'm here because I'm really thankful that we live in the United States in which everybody can speak their mind and we can all have our own ideas of what needs to be done, and we can express what we think is best, and we can still usually get along as a community. And that is one of the things that I think is very important about coming to something like this. I am among the ones who does believe that the speed bumps are really excessive on Schmill Road. I also did not have any idea we would have them put in. We didn't have, the majority of people had no idea that these were going in until the day that they were in, and then we were like, what's going on? We do have a tractor. It is not the best thing for our equipment or any of the other farmers' equipment as they're going down the road. It is also not the best thing for the suspension of vehicles. So, and that's all I have to say. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, ma'am. The next one is Marion Harper Lewis.
I have this whole letter here, statement to talk about, but I have to address some things first. Not one person has addressed this correctly today. They are speed humps, not speed bumps. I would never have wanted speed bumps. I told, Michael Hawks when we talked about it, speed humps just to slow down traffic. So not one person has addressed it correctly. They are speed humps. And yes, they have to be put in a certain succession. And I believe Fancy was referring to me when I said, or when she spoke about the speed hump being removed. And all we simply said was, hey, you put it where they can come into our property. And I was pulling out in my dually and somebody went around the speed hump. So I simply said, can you move it up to the fence where no one can do that? And they said, oh my gosh, why didn't we see that when we placed it? My name's Mariana Harper Lewis, and I live at 26 Schmidl Road. I've been there for 4 years. My husband Robert couldn't make it today due to prior engagements, but he has lived on Schmidl Road for over 20 years. We spend most of our days working outside all over our property, and no one can say that we don't. We have the largest amount of road frontage on the west side of the railroad tracks. Our house is set up to where our living area and our upstairs office face the road. So we have noticed an increase in speeding traffic, which includes motorcycles and ATVs. We see a lot of near misses because of the one-lane road and people speeding by. The county form, and please listen to me, the county form that my husband and I took around to our neighbors was simply a request for a survey to be done on Schmidl Road. It was called a speed hump investigation. All of the signatures were received during daylight hours with the exception of one resident who came to our home after dark to sign the request. The form was then submitted to the county manager, Mr. Hawks, at which point the county acted on it and started their procedures. It has been brought to our attention that there are some who believe that this is personal. This process was never done to offend anyone personally, but rather done in the best interest of all who travel on Schmidl Road. Because some individuals have made this personal, we have taken steps to secure our property. We have had an assessment done and will be installing a complete camera system on our property that will also cover Schmidl Road. A motion detected picture will be triggered at 5 miles per hour over the posted speed limit. The data will be shared with the County Road Commission for the information purposes only. I want to thank Michael Hawks for seeing this project through. I do appreciate the speed humps. We have seen a dramatic decrease in speeding, making the environment much safer. And the people who have spoken previously to me, they are the major offenders. And I mean, I'm not the police. I told my husband we're not the police, but you can view it. And people are still speeding, and I submitted videos to Mr. Hawks yesterday. And you guys can watch them, and you can see the difference the speed humps have made. Thank you.
Thank you. The next one is Donna Stendel Martinez.
Hello, my name is Donna Stendel. I live on 16 Sassy Lane, excuse my voice. We live right off of Schmidl Road. I've lived there for approximately 40 years. And Schmidl Road, if those of you who are not familiar with it, has a straight run. And then you come to the railroad tracks, you have to stop. And then it has a zigzag. And then you go on another straight run before it gets to Slayton Road. The speed limit, the posted speed limit on that road is 15 miles per hour. I can tell you myself, I have seen people doing way over 15 miles an hour on that road. And they start at the beginning and they go until they get to the tracks. They slam on the brakes, go over the tracks, come around the S-curve, and then go start at it again. There's one particular teenager that likes to do that quite often, but he's not the only one. And it is a one-lane road. I have personally almost been hit by one of the people that lives on Schmidl Road that has an impairment of vision to the road. We came within inches of getting our car hit. Another time, there's a gentleman that lives on there. His name is John. I don't know his last name. He's an elderly gentleman. He pulls out every single time without looking. He never looks. And if you are doing over 15, you will hit this man. I can agree with you on your EMS stuff to a point. I did EMS for 20 years. I was an EMT for over 20 years. Yes, it's tough on an ambulance to hit those speed bumps if you are speeding. Speed humps, excuse me. If you are speeding. If you are doing the posted speed limit, they are not a problem at all. I also was on the fire department for over 7 years. I drove fire trucks. They are not a problem if you do the speed limit. But if you are speeding, yes, they're going to rattle everything in the back of that ambulance or the back of that fire truck. So if you're doing the speed limit, it's not a problem. They should be there to slow people down from doing that. And that's really all I have to say is my concern for our community in that area. The farmers are there. They do go up and down the road, mostly in the summertime. However, there are other ways around that road. They can go through Slayton Road, or they can use the ditch. And there's, other ways around it. Smith Road is a shortcut from point A to point B. That's all it really is to me. I don't, it may be better for other people, but to me, that's all it is a shortcut. So thank you for listening.
Thank you. The next one is Carrie.
She had to leave.
She had to leave?
Yeah.
Okay, the next one is Savannah Morris.
Hi, I just wanted to point out the two people who are grateful for the speed bumps. They're nowhere near Schmidl Road. They're like 6 miles away. So I just wanted to point that out. Everybody who's here who's opposing Schmidl Road is opposing the speed bumps for Schmidl Road. We've lived there for about over 10 years. We have never seen an accident. People actually are really friendly whenever you're going down the road. It comes to a point that it's a 1-lane road. People will pull off, wait. We've never seen anybody aggressive, and especially the farm equipment that goes down there. They always have the right of way. People know that. It's just kind of a small country respect thing. And I do think having cameras and clocking your speed is really inappropriate and unnecessary. And the speed bumps are very excessive. From the point that you turn onto Schmidl up until you get to the railroad, there is 6 speed bumps. And then past that to the other side where you get to thank you. There's the remainder of them. And so there's 10 speed bumps in less than a mile, which is absolutely ridiculous. Thank you.
Thank you. Next one is Tommy Rosales.
Tommy Rosales, I actually live at 313 County Road 91, which would be on the west, the west axis of Schmidl Road. I've heard a lot of stuff going on here with, too many speed bumps, a lot of stuff, and I think that it could be mitigated a lot. If your driveway, you can't go to a point, can't see nobody coming. That means your driveway might need to be looked at or something. A lot of personal stuff we can mitigate for, I believe. Some of the speed humps, because I went through there a few times already, are very misplaced. There's actually coming over one of the ditches. Right before you hit the bottom of it, I believe it's right next to the Rainsden's residence. It's in a bad spot. I mean, if you're going 15 miles an hour and you don't know it's there, because there's no signage or nothing, along that road, you do hit it. I think they are excessive. I think there's 10 speed humps and 0.8 miles, I think is what I calculated. So it is a lot. I actually started leasing. My founders let me lease some land down the Schmidl Road, and I do go down there with farm equipment more. And it's rough. It is rough. And granted, thank you for giving us the right of way and go through there. Tractor race we go down a single lane road, and it's rough. It's to a point where it kind of does bounce the equipment up, hard and stuff like that. Do I need to file a claim against the county for that kind of stuff? Tractor won't go but 16 miles an hour if I really have it. It won't go that way. But I did start leasing land down that road. And the comment about, from point A to point B, You know, when you're driving a tractor, 15 miles or 16 miles an hour to go all the way around to where a majority of our farmland is down there, it's excessive. Running those tractors along the pavement road, if you're an experienced farmer and knowledgeable farmer, it does wear and tear on your tractor. We're not blessed to have all of our land in one area, so we are spread out from the core flood control all the way south to almost Pollinator area. You know, and so that road there is one of our main accesses to the majority of our farmland. You know, I'm not here to, you know, say that they're not helping, maybe they are. But you know, I think the placement of them, the knowledge, you know, and then maybe some, if you guys could put it somewhere else. I don't follow, this is actually my first county meeting I believe I've ever been to, because it does concern me, and maybe I need to be more, you know, vigilant about what's going on in my county, but, you know, I'm here to, you know, say that I want those things removed too. They are a hindrance to trailers, to life, you know, with the trailers and stuff like that. It is rough, especially that I'm going to go back to that because I'm actually coming out of my pocket now, you know, to try to start something for myself and for my future. I would appreciate you guys to remove those speed bumps, you know, or maybe minimize them at least if we can't come to a conclusion, you know, to an understanding, you know, get at least half of those damn things out of there. Maybe put one on the straightaway, you know, let's try to do something a little bit better. I don't know what exactly the process is. I know one speed bump got moved, and I can see why. I'm not against it. I can see why. There's also another one down there. I think the gentleman came today. You know, that one needs to be moved as well. It's the same reason. You know, people are going around it on the edge. That road's not the best road as it is, so I think it just causes more of a hindrance for, you know, vehicle and wear and tear. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Did that Harry Durkin come back?
No. Can I say another thing? The one in front of our property is also a.
Mr. Chairman, there's only public comment, you can only talk one time.
Okay, sorry. The next one is Stephen Jojola.
Hello, I'm Stephen Hola. I'm against those speed humps. I've been a resident there over 25 years and we loved it. Now it sucks to live down that road. And I'll let you guys know why we moved. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else? So far we have 11 that did comment, 12 that we. Anyone else? Public comment? Come on.
Hi, I'm Bobby Gonzalez. I'm on Schmidl Road as well. I am one of the ones I did sign the first petition, but to my knowledge, it was going to be to discuss them so we could all get together and, you know, give our opinions and what's right or wrong in that neighborhood. I've been there myself 5 years. I would have loved to sit and get everybody else's information. When I found out more information, you know, how much it does hurt everybody's vehicles with the farm equipment. And my mechanic got after me about how much it's gonna hurt my vehicle. I wasn't too happy about that, but there is 10 on that road in a very short distance. And that is way overkill for anybody to be going up and down it. And then it being such a small street, I think it's a little overboard. We can do much better for our community. So, thank you.
Anybody else?
Mr. Chairman, if I may make a public comment myself. So I, obviously, Commissioner Glenn Duggins from Limitar. I also am a farmer. It's almost laughable to think I crossed those things. I set my cruise control. I was one that speeded. I did it for a purpose. I went across them at 30 miles an hour, and that's too fast. But were they real bad? No. Those are the best speed bumps that the county has ever put in. We had them engineered. They're engineered to keep the traffic at 15 miles an hour, 20 miles an hour. You drive 15, drive 20, and there you are. Tractors, they were born on rough land. We cross ditches, we cross borders, we cross all that all the time. Much worse than the speed bumps. And I don't know how many calls I've had. The sheriff can vouch that I call him several times, that we get calls to call the sheriff to see if we can't slow the traffic down. He's limited with his crew. It's a wild west, and he just doesn't have enough crew to do that. And although I guess there hasn't been a significant wreck or accident, but we should be able to foresee that when we can. And so I wish they were in front of my house, but I live on a state road. And that's it.
Okay. And I want to make it clear that his comments are as a citizen, not the commission.
Right.
Can I say something?
Who? No, you can only have it one time, according to the attorney. Okay. We'll move on. Okay, the next thing is approval of minutes. Commissioners, you had the minutes in your packet. You had a chance for February 13, 2024. You had a chance to review. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having us. I will make a motion that we approve the agenda. I'm sorry, the minutes.
Motion by Commissioner Devens to approve the February 13th. Second by Commissioner Secretary. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The minutes of February 13, 2024 regular meeting are approved. Thank you, Casey, for doing a good job.
Thank you.
Committee department reports. Acknowledge department reports. Okay, I want to start with the sheriff, if he can come up here.
Chairman Martinez, commissioners, good afternoon. Start off today, so these guys can get home. We have two new hires. They just completed some of their training the last few days. They've been here for what, this is your second week? They did all their firearms training, and they're currently undergoing a three-phase field training. So this is going to be Raven Canada and
Carl Lewis.
Carl is two young men with very green behind the ears, and they're doing really good. Just to let you know, they're really good shots too, and just great guys. Very smart. They pick everything up. I'm excited to have them, and I'm hoping I can keep them for as long as possible. They should probably be going to the academy in July. And so they actually filled two positions that we had vacant, and we still have two more vacant positions. So, all right, good. Feels good to go if you want.
Be safe.
Thank you. What's that?
Be safe.
I don't have a whole lot to go over today, and I was thinking about it earlier, and I completely forgot everything I was going to tell you guys. But I think that road situation with the speed bumps, I really don't know what to think about that. That's kind of a difficult situation. If there's anything you want us as the sheriff's office to go over and look at, and if there's anything we could do to help with that, just let us know. We can go by, do some patrols in the area, and we just whatever we can do. If you guys come up with anything, let us know.
Mr. Chairman, Sheriff Lee, so I don't know, a year or two ago, it wasn't on Smeddle, but it was on Chambon, the one that goes all the way through. And I happened to be there. Your office was involved in a high-speed chase behind somebody.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that maybe that happens all the time, but so wouldn't those speed bumps help in a situation like that?
To be honest, no. We get people going through arroyos. I mean, when they're running away from you, they're driving it like they stole it, and half the time it is stolen. So speed bumps are just gonna slow us down more than anything, because we're not wanting to break our cars.
Yeah.
And they don't care. That's about it. I've seen them ramp train tracks.
Have you driven those speed bumps yourself?
I haven't. I went through there as they were putting them in. Went through there a couple of times, but I haven't been through there since they've.
Deputies have these two gentlemen here.
No, I don't know if they have, because they've been really training the last 2 weeks, and I think it was put in 2 weeks ago, right?
They're pretty smooth, really. I mean, they're nice. They're well done.
I'll be out and about tomorrow, and I'll go through there and check it out. And I can do that. But I will say 10 is kind of a lot for that little area. But any questions?
No, sure.
Okay. One more thing, and I know I had mentioned it before. The state police did get a big pay raise. They were telling me they're going to like $42 an hour. That's I have some people drooling right now, thinking about that. So it's going to be real hard to keep anybody really. I don't know if Tech PD, the City PD, us, anybody's going to be able to. But yeah, and one more thing. If in Magdalena, I was thinking about that situation. One thing is law enforcement officers and the law, when there is a vicious dog and it's attacking animals or biting people, it doesn't say you can shoot that animal. It says you shall shoot that animal if you see it in the act of doing it. And I think that if the marshals, when they get there on time, because it doesn't take but 3 minutes to get there, if they take action and shoot those dogs, it could mitigate some of the price and not having to call in Jose as well. And because we end up doing that a lot out in the Llano, we end up having to shoot them because they're attacking cows. We've been doing it 25 years I've been here, so. Anything else, guys?
Commissioners, anything from Marcel?
I would just like to make a comment, Lee.
Yes, sir.
I also heard that rate went up.
That much for state police. And the governor pushed it and was successful, I think, to get it.
Now,
on the other side, I think every county, the 33 counties that are there, they need to go to the associated counties and ask to be on the agenda, the sheriff affiliate, and ask to be on the agenda and petition the governor to give more money to the counties, the ones that need it. Not every county is rich. She gave money to the state police, but all that's going to happen. I know a lot of these officers are going to go to the state police, and you can't blame them. If they're making $17, $20 an hour, and they go to 42, they're going to go. You just have 2 young officers here. When they come back from the academy, $42 an hour is quite a bit of difference. They start a career and they can retire. So I think that's what. And I'm on that board of directors. We asked them for some stuff. I think that's what we need to work on. All 33 counties need to cover. We need help. We need help to be able to pay that kind of money.
And it's when it comes to these rookies, the new guys, that's $23 an hour more than they're making. And really, what we're losing, we're not losing the new guys that are being trained. We're losing the cream of the crop. I have some outstanding that I would put against anybody in the state. That's how confident I am about them, knowing their job and stuff. Well, after 5 years, these guys can go straight across, do a, 4-week, 5-week class with state police, and now they are a state police officer.
Yeah.
It's called the lateral. That's nothing. And then they get sent back here to Socorro to work.
Yeah.
Because they're so short here. So honestly, I think we really, really, really need to do something like soon, because that takes effect here pretty soon. And we're, as a county, as a community, we're gonna be very short law enforcement officers. And I can't say that, let's go to $40 an hour. That's just unfathomable. There's no way we could do that. But we could give them enough of a raise or something to show them, hey, we're listening. We know you could go for better, but with the atmosphere you have here, because the reason they stay here, honestly, is because of the atmosphere. They trust me and Amanda and their supervisors, and we get them the best equipment we can get. We get them everything they need, and they're never without. If they need something, they tell us, and we don't. We're not out there trying to just nitpick and micromanage. So they love the atmosphere at the sheriff's office, and when they have a good morale, they're going to work hard, which they do. But good morale and big pay. Sometimes some people suffer for a little extra money, substantial. So if there's anything we could do, I know my budget, we're not going to be able to squeeze blood out of a turnip on that one, because we're pretty tight on that one. But if there's something we could do, I know Manager Hawks has kind of given us some options and said, look at this, and we'll bring it in front of you guys, and we're still working on it. And hopefully by the next commission meeting, we'll be able to show you what different options that we can do, that Manager Hawks has been working with us on. And if that's possible, it'll be amazing. But I really do think this kind of a raise, or this kind of because now what's going to happen is what's been happening, what we've been seeing the last few years is state police gets a pay raise, people from APD start going to the state police. So APD gets a big pay raise, and the people from state police started going back and forth, right? So people are jumping back and forth. So now I guarantee you, DCSO, big pay raise. APD, and of course there's the bigger agencies, they're going to get a big one. I know, again, Los Alamos is fixing to get another good pay raise here pretty soon. So.
Well, it's like I said, Lee, some counties have money, and there's a lot of counties that don't. I think that's where we need the help from our governor for the counties. APD can pay more, Exclusives can pay more, all those big cities. The village of Magdalena, they're suffering for police because they can't pay. They'll go somewhere. Some of the people that worked in Magdalena work for you, and they're working for the city of Socorro now because it's a lot more money.
I think Magdalena's getting paid a little more than we are. To be honest, they are.
I hope you and the manager can work something out or find something, but I really feel the solution is coming from the legislature and as well in order to help the counties that need help. There's no way we can come up with that kind of.
I don't know. You're absolutely correct. In my lifetime, I could never even imagine us getting that kind of money here in Socorro. But man, I don't know what to do. And I'm terrified to be running on a crew of 6 guys, because then we're just gonna do civil service.
And that's what the governor needs to do.
I hate to say it, I don't have much faith that they're gonna try and give us any money like that, because I don't know that I've ever seen money that from the state that's gone to our long-term wages. But that would be nice. I mean, I guess it never hurts to try. So.
Well, I think I don't know if it'll work, but in 33 counties, if they vote, they send a letter to our governor, we need help.
Yes.
She has to kind of listen, she's helping the state police, which is all right, but the counties need help too.
And she did at one point say she wanted state police to be the highest paid agency.
Yeah, they are.
Mr. Chairman, I just can't hardly sit still on this. So I don't think the governor's gonna help the sheriff's department anywhere. I really think she would like to be the Meadow State Police and see you guys dwindle. That's just my thought. But going to raise thought, why not ask? But you can't just ask. And if it goes to the legislature, we need something in paper. And that's where I was going with that, like a graph. If you could relate your vacancy rate to the laws that they have been passing the last, it takes somebody smarter than me to put that together, but the laws that affect your hiring, because money-wise, we're never going to get there. But then you could lay that paper facts in front of the legislature.
And so I brought that up to some other sheriffs, and that would be really hard to show, right? Because I don't know if it has. I think it has some with these new laws, because who wants to be a police officer when you can be sued personally, right? Well,
or related to her pay increases to, you could relate it to several things that they're doing in Santa Fe that's directly affecting you and other sheriffs.
I can see what I could do. That's kind of
these people are paper people. They want to see it in paper. They understand that. I think Manager Hawks is bail me out.
President, Chairman Martinez, Commissioners, this has been an issue ever since I was in there. Unfortunately, the state police used to pay in beans and spit, and that was a but those are, until they start doing similar methodologies that we use in other states where there's a identified group like metropolitan area and or areas in which they can have a consolidated, not compete salary agreement is the only way I see that being resolved, because a state police goes to 42, Los Alamos is at 50, then you get maybe one of the southeastern agencies seeing that and they have different type of money or a large amount of money, they go to 55. That it just keeps on. The thing is that law enforcement right now, because nobody really wants to be a law enforcement officer, are in high demand. You're going to have that. I don't have the answer of. I don't even know if throwing money at it is the answer. I know it might help to keep some that are close. But we're going to give it a shot to see what we can afford. I don't know what we can afford. But we definitely can afford that.
Exactly.
It was just the same way when minimum pay increased. Your $5 hamburger went to $12, $14. I don't know how counties can do that type of stuff. How we, especially Socorro County, how we don't have the infrastructure or the capability to be able to say, yeah, let's drill an oil well and, hopefully pay our law enforcement more. It's just not there right now. But we're going to give it some shot and some analysis, and we'll see where we end up. But what I've seen over the last 2 years is astronomical, and I don't know where the answer is really. I really don't.
It started over COVID and the news when everyone was attacking, defund the police and blah, 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 and you saw this over the news. After that, before that, we'd have 4, 5, 6 people come out to try and put in for the sheriff's office every time we went in, maybe more. Now, we never had to actively recruit, and now I'm telling everybody and their grandparents, hey, come on out, we have openings, and it's hard. Nobody can pass, or nobody wants to put in. They're like, heck no, I'll go work at McDonald's for $17 an hour. And it's just kind of, it's hard. It's hard. Like I said, I don't have any answers, but hopefully between the discussions between Manager Hawks and I and Amanda and you guys, we can come up with something.
Well, Sheriff, I offer this. On May the 3rd, the Board of Directors are going to meet in Grand County.
Okay.
All 33 counties will be there. A representative from 33 counties. I feel we need to get on the agenda and go up there and tell the Associated County Executive Director, we want this on the agenda to pull all the other counties. Now that the state police is getting this kind of money, now what can happen to us that really need the money? Whatever they can do. It's too late for money now, but next year there's a 60-day legislature, and I think we start working on it. Just keep on working on it until when it comes. And I agree with Glenn. When you go to the legislature, you have your ducks in a row. See, I'm not saying it'll go through, but I'm willing to help you. I'm willing to go up there and speak for you in that meeting and say, this is what's hurting us. I've seen it here in Socorro. I've seen it in Magdalena. I've seen it in City of Socorro. I haven't seen it in the other counties, but I hear from the other commissioners, they have a hard time keeping people.
Yeah.
They don't have the money. So something needs to be done. You know, they've given money to the schools. They've given money to everything, which is good. But it's time. You know, the crime. Look at the crime. Look at the crime level.
Absolutely.
The governor needs to realize that we need to pay more to the counties that can. Because like you said, if these guys go, you might have 2 or 3 officers, 5 to patrol the whole county. It's hard.
That being said, you know, we're with the crime and everything that's going on. I'm kind of asking more of my deputies, right? And I'm putting more stuff on their plate, trying to get them to do more, trying to give them more responsibilities, more training, more things, you know, and hope I'm not preparing them to go to be very, very qualified to go to another agency really quick. So we've been putting a lot of money into training it. And now we just got 3 new field training officers. And those 3 field training officers, they're going to be, they came up with a whole new curriculum for field training and everything. And, you know, now their field training program is sharp. And so, you know, we're training these guys. We're going next week. I'll be gone to use of force and officer involved shooting. And I'm sorry, I keep talking, guys. And I know you guys want to go home.
This is important.
We're like I told you guys last meeting, I believe. We're gonna co-op with Sierra County, Doña Ana County. Those are the 2 others right now. But we're gonna start doing our own officer involved shooting investigations. So I'm training up my detectives, and they're gonna cross train with other detectives, and they're gonna be able to help with that. And I'm getting these guys as much training and trying to get them so full of knowledge and so good at what they're doing. Hopefully that stops the lawsuits, right? They will never stop the lawsuits, but I mean, it can really slow them down. Another thing I want to do to help save the county money is we were talking to Greg from the Association of Counties, and he said that if we get I can't, it was on the tip of my tongue. So you can get qualified through the Association of Counties, certified as a certified law enforcement agency that meets the criteria through the Association of Counties. There's other agencies that do it like CALEA and stuff like that, but that certification, they said if we go through that and for that, then as a county, it won't help the sheriff's office, but it'll help the county as far as their premiums, as their insurance premiums. So that's something that we're going to look into. This is something that may take a year or 2 to do, start to finish. But I had talked to Manager Hawks about it, and he was like, "Oh yeah, it's probably going to take a while." But you know, if we do some work on our end, maybe we can return the favor. It'll never be as much, but it'll return the favor.
Well, who's the president of the affiliate of the sheriffs? Do you know?
It is now. Sheriff, no, he is the sergeant at arms. It's Sheriff, oh my gosh, Greg.
Well, Sheriff, I think
Lee County Sheriff.
you can contact the affiliated sheriff and start the communication for that. They respect Mike a lot as a manager. He can start the conversation with all the managers of the affiliate to see how their budgets are. And they would support going to associated counties to request that money. I think that's where you start with the agency it's affecting. That's my thing. That's what I would do.
Anything is gonna help, at least we can say we tried.
Mr. Sheriff, Mr. Chairman, just one quick comment. So we faced the same thing on the Chili board that we hired a better man than we could pay. And some of them said just what you said, well, we're gonna lose him, we're gonna train him and we're gonna lose him. And that's true, and I understand totally where it happens to me on my farm. But if Socorro County, if you, Sheriff Lee, can be a stepping stone for one of your deputies to go on to better themselves to become who knows what, well, hallelujah, that I understand the budget part of it, but if Socorro County is known to be a good training place, you're always going to be, you're never going to be able to pay, I don't think, your men what they're capable of.
My perspective is, it's not for me. I'm not trying to keep them for me, right?
No,
I'm trying to keep them for the community. Right?
I understand, but
the product I can get for my community and the best I can do for them, then I'm doing my job because they elected me. I had, I don't know how many thousand people.
And you are, and they probably will leave, but I think we could be proud of that,
I think
that if we're
proud of where we are today, our past sheriff and currently what we're doing now, our past sheriffs, I should say, and currently what we're doing now, we've really brought the sheriff's department up, and we've really brought up some amazing young men that right now are some veteran officers that were just young kids when I was training them, and now they're sharp. We need to keep that.
Yes.
Because the younger guys that became the veterans, they are the future. I'm not the future. I'm the right now. I'm not the future. These young guys are the future. And if we keep these guys and bring them forward in the future, well, you're not going to have to worry too much because now you have leaders that are going to be able to keep our community safe. And that's what it's about. It's about listening to our constituents and making sure that they have the best product that we can give them. And if we give them the best product, you know what? I can go to sleep at night and sleep good because as a group, it's not just me. I can't do this job by myself. It's you guys that really push forth and always have had our backs. So it's us together. We're giving them the best product we can give them. And right now we have a pretty damn good product with these guys. I think I've talked way too much.
No.
Thank you guys.
We have some work to do.
Thank you guys. I appreciate you.
Thank you for your do, sir. The next one is the animal control officer. Commissioners, did you see his written report? Did you see the amount of dogs that he's dealing with? And he's in the audience, so what do you say?
Jose Gonzalez, I'm the Animal Control Ordinance Officer in my county. So I put my report to you guys. The animal at large, not stopping. It's everywhere. It's Magdalena, north, east, south. So I've been citing people, taking it to court, citing people for their debris. The people have been working the past 2 years, been taken into court. And I got training with wolf depredation too.
Yes.
And I'm waiting in Matt. So when he gets a call, so I can start going in the field with him, so we can learn, how to do it right. So I've been trapping with him for the past 2 years, right? We've been helping other dairies and up north in Veguita. Oh, only 2 of them that are open, I think, right now. So, I try my best, guys. right now the problem is people calling me with bunch of puppies, like 10, 12-liter puppies. So I try my best to bring home. I'm calling the people that helping me before in the past, but right now everything is full. It's our animal shelter here in the city. 90% of the time is full. And nobody's doing adoptions in dogs right now. So I'm calling on the people calling me and telling me, hey, I have 8 puppies. So can you wait? They send me pictures. We send them out to animal rescues. Even out of state, we're working on them. Right now, nobody wants anything around.
No problem.
It's a big problem. I've been working with the Magdalena marshals. Every time I go there, I try to look for Mike or one of their deputies. I told, hey, I'm here. You have any problem? I put the days I've been going up there. It's been about an hour or two. I cited, I think, 2 people already, gave a couple verbal warnings. At the same time, I'm chasing the dog that's running around. You can see the owner after me. It's my dog, don't take it. So in that fact, I just give them a verbal warning because I know they are trying their hard to get their dog to get out or anything like that. So I removed a couple dogs from my property at Magdalena with the marshals. And then we put in here in the city shelter. So some of them are bottle feed. A lot of people came and volunteered and helped us with them. So, like I said, I'm trying my best.
Well, thank you.
I got a lot of calls of dogs attacking livestock. I'm working on San Antonio, Luis Lopez. Reguita is a big problem right now with the packs of dogs attacking livestock.
Mr. Chairman, Manager Hawks, do we not have like a policy, like a breeding, like a kennel kind of a thing, like a dog breeder? Is it just free to do whatever in this county? Do we have an ordinance?
There's no ordinance on that.
So, but some counties, maybe it's possible that you could make an ordinance to, I don't know, get a license. I don't know how realistic it is, but to cut the breeding down, can you even?
I'll give you my 2 cents on this because I deal with it. Yes, some counties and some of the counties or at least one of the counties I represent does have a requirement for breeders licensing. The problem with that is twofold. One, it's just like any other law. People who breed responsibly are going to apply for it. The people that our animal control officer deal with on a daily basis, it will have no effect whatsoever on. So the laws that we have for citing are what we need to enforce. But that's my 2 cents. But yes, it is possible.
Is it also possible that you could have an ordinance to say no pit bulls in Socorro County? I mean, something like that. I know that's a slippery slope. I mean, the next thing it'll be poop or my black German Shepherd,
Well, I'll tell you one thing that I learned now that I've been working in animal control. Pit bulls are not vicious dogs. It's how you treat your animals, how the animals are treat you.
I believe that's.
I own pit bulls myself, and I own a German Shepherd and Dobermans, and they act good with me. They actually protect me and my kids. And the problem right now is that people call me, I have a meter of 10 puppies. Like, I'm sorry, I cannot take them right now. Can you hold for a second? Well, I don't know how I'm gonna feed them. And where the dogs are gonna end up? Highway 60 and the river. And they cause a bigger problem for us, not just for me, for the city too, because, I see people sending me pictures, calling me in the weekends, all the time, sending me pictures of leaving the dogs in the river. Or up by Magdalena, like going to Alamo, like Highway 60 is one of the best spots that they use in La Jolla.
It's an issue.
It's an issue.
Any more questions, commissioners? Thank you, Jose.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
The next one, the report is from the Emergency Services. Did you have a chance to review that? Any questions or anything? No?
No, sir.
The other one is from the detention center. You have a chance to review it. You see the paintings that the inmates are doing around town and the food that they prepared for themselves. It's pretty good. Any other questions from that? And then the county extension office, did you guys have a chance to review that one? Okay. Acknowledge the manager's report.
Thank you, Chairman and Commission. I'll just be real quick. Hop Canyon, some of the complaints near Neil Gray's property have been, at his request, the culverts were removed and the area returned to grade. We had a walk around inspection of the county courthouse with contractors involved. And this is gonna be approximately a 9-month phase project. They already took one window to do a refurbishing, submitted purchase agreement to the Solero property, to security title with earnest funds for processing, submitted the IGA for administrative office of courts for review and consideration. That's $710,000. That brings us, if we get that, that'll be about 1.8 and change, trying to get that done on the 9-month phase project. Meet with road department to prepare a list for commission roads, LGRF projects within those districts, co-op, PAP, and SBR. I believe they're on the agenda. One of the things I wanted the commission to know that they published the possibility of funds to be allocated. $300,000 to plan, design, construct, purchase, and install structures for a recreational yard at the detention center. $750,000 to plan, design, construct improvements at Escondido Lake. That's in addition to $250,000 to plan, design, install, furnish, equip, energy efficiency projects at the courthouse. That'll get us to where we can, or at least it looks like we can, work on the elevator and restuccoing the courthouse, not the jail or the DA's office, unfortunately. Again, that's a 9-month phase project. I did want to, that's if the governor doesn't veto any of those line items. We did do a pre-bid this morning on phases 3 and 7 for San Antonio project, the same project that we bid out and then we rejected the bid. That is due for opening on March 14th. And I'd like the commission's permission. I know the commission did away with the investment committee and now they are the investment committee. We have enough funds in our First State Bank right now with the past established threshold that I believe we could easily take 2.5 million and talk to First State Bank. They have a program that pays higher interest. They got close the last time with LGIP. So that would allow us to keep the money locally and get a higher interest rate. Right now, it's not doing anything. $12 a month, not too much, where the other we would probably be making $10,000 a month. So I'd like permission to have myself and the treasurer and finance director. I called the bank manager and owner of First State Bank this morning and left him a message to see if we could start that conversation. So it would serve two purposes. Keep the money at a local bank, but allow us to garnish or make our money work for us at the interest rate that they are offering.
It's fine with me. Do we need an action or?
Right now, if I could just get your permission and
It's fine with me.
move forward on it, just to start the conversation.
Agree. Okay,
Thank you, that's it.
the next one, acknowledge commissioners report. Commissioner Aguilar,
Nothing at this time, sir.
Commissioner Duggan,
I would just like to say that the Conservancy turned the water on, the irrigation water, we getting it turned on time this year, so that's a good thing. With all the winds, it can be a little dangerous blowing debris in the ditches and then the ditches running over and breaking. And I would just say, as you're driving and crossing ditches, if you see a ditch that has a lot of debris that maybe the water level is high, make a phone call to the local office, Julian Avalos or some of these guys. Betty, I think you live, but it's worthwhile to keep an eye out. Those ditches can be deadly, as they say. Other than that, we'll, as long as the river runs, we'll be all right.
good. And for me, commissioners, I'd like your approval to help the sheriff follow up on getting it up with the Associated Counties. Start the process to talk discussions, to send something to our governor and legislators to be able to get money for all the counties for law enforcement. If I have your approval, I'll email Dee tomorrow and we can start working on it.
Sure.
Is it all right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
definitely.
Get a new governor. It's all right with me.
Okay. Item 10, action item A, approval of assessor's office wall installation at an estimated cost of $20,784.30. Hello, Julie.
Hello, Commissioners.
Hi.
Long time no see.
Yes.
Okay, what I'm here for is I'm requesting to see if I can get some money in our budget to kind of like reconfigure our office and make it more, it's not personable, but, user friendly, yes, but, what's the word I'm looking for? Private. Privacy. We have a lot of customers that come in and probably are talking to our chief appraiser. They're talking about financial statements and what they're making and their financial issues, because that has a lot to do with our valuing our properties, especially our commercial properties. And we can't close the door in David's office. There's not enough room, there's no ventilation in there. So everybody in the office is listening. And if we have, for instance, Pedro with the map, well, whatever he does, mapping and stuff, he has customers, they're sitting right next to David's office listening to everything the customers are saying. I've had 2 people complain, it's been like a year or so that they've complained about they don't feel comfortable coming into our office and talking to us about that type of stuff. I don't feel comfortable either. I think it's, at least my office, I can close the door, but they're talking to me about other things. But we need to do something. What I wanted to do was take David's, Nanako's office and the deputy assessor's office, make it one office, close it off and make one office out of that, and then create 2 offices, one for Pedro, because he does deal with a lot of customers and he needs his own space, and then one for the deputy assessor. And I just think we need to do that now. We're getting a lot more customers. We've really been out assessing commercial properties this year. A lot of commercial properties we've done, and those went really up because they hadn't been done in 20, 30 years. So we went out, we've done a lot of them, and we're gonna get people coming in, and in order for us to help them with their values, they gotta show us income proof, and we gotta discuss their incomes. We get people in with the freezes to seniors. We have 200 and some seniors who have applied for the freezes. That information is confidential also. they don't want no one knowing that, their values or, their income is. We just need some privacy in our office, and so I was requesting some money to do that. We had put in our budget last year to buy tables, and that was not given to, not tables, desk. And that was not given to us. We need to buy desks. I think we can buy desks out of what we have. Maybe I can justify it through the 1%. I talked to PTD about us using 1% to do this walls. And they said that we couldn't, that the county has to provide the infrastructure for us in the assessor's office. They said unless I could absolutely justify it, that you guys aren't going to give it to us. And then maybe I can go from there. So that's where I'm at as far as that goes. So I don't know. And I know some of you guys have talked to me. You guys always ask me, well, what do you need in your office? What would you like? Well, what can we do to help you? Well, this is what we need. And it's not for us. It's mostly for the customers. It's kind of embarrassing when I'm hearing them talk about somebody's finances.
It's disruptive to your other employees.
Well, yeah, too, because they're listening.
Okay, you heard her request, Commissioners. Mike, is there a way we could help her?
Thank you, Chairman Martinez, Commission. Julie, can you make that like 30 cents less on your estimate?
Well, you know what, Mike, I thought last night, I was thinking about this. Why didn't, I probably need to maybe do another estimate, get another estimate. Why am I going out of state? Do I have to go with that company? Why couldn't I get someone from Socorro? There's a couple of contractors in Socorro that are licensed.
I think under our.
Or do we have to go with them? I didn't know if we did.
No, under our purchasing rule, unless they have a state pricing agreement.
Oh, okay, all right.
Under our purchasing rules, we would have to get at least 3 bids.
Okay, so I can do 2 more bids and see if they're cheaper, because I feel if we're gonna spend that kind of money also, it should probably go to someone here in Socorro County.
With that said, Commission, I believe $20,000 is something we could scrounge up.
I'm gonna have a heart attack.
That's fine, that figure.
I don't know, I think we'll see. I think that price might be a little. But we can.
And they're not walls, they're not gonna go, like the 2 new offices, they're not gonna go all the way to the ceiling. They're gonna be kind of like our break room where it's like probably about 2 feet from the ceiling. Just because we don't wanna have to mess with the vent, the electricity, the air conditioning, and it'll just fly through top of the ceiling, hopefully.
Mr. Chairman, Julie, you mentioned desks. This doesn't include desks. This is just a.
We're gonna have to find money.
So, this was done by the prisons, right? Wouldn't they not build desks for her office? Yes. Yeah, they build desks and they built this, remember, Mr. Martinez?
But they do, that would be great. We have,
for a little bit of money, but it's
something for them to do.
Affordable and pretty well.
Because we have a couple of the desks that we bought when I first started back in 1997. Delilah got them, and we're still using them. One of them I can't even have, which is the person that does the senior freezes, and we can't have the seniors come into our office to go to her desk, because if they lean on it, the desk falls this way. So, they're not even connected. You just have to make sure you're not. We really desperately need desks.
It's
at least 3 of them.
Prison system. Why don't you check it out?
We'll look into that. But I think we're talking about your walls, right?
Right, yeah. Both of them if we can, but yeah, if we can, the walls we absolutely need, the desks we absolutely need.
Well, I need a motion to approve her request for 20,000, correct, Mike?
Correct.
And then she will look for bids.
Yeah, I'll get 2 more bids.
Okay.
And then come back for money for desks.
Either come back for it, or I might be able to, if I can justify my chief appraiser's desk because he's an appraiser. I could probably do Donna's desk because she's the personal property appraiser. And probably the other one, I could justify that out of the 1%. So, but mostly the wall, the structure, we can't justify that.
To do, get two more votes and increase.
No.
Not to approve it when it passes.
But she's got.
But if we approve it,
Oh, yeah. Correct, and, need a motion to get two more quotes to get some amount of 20,000.
So then we need to table it then. She's gonna get two.
I think all we need is a motion to allow
Up to
the
20.
assessor's office to expend $20,000.
I'll make that motion.
And then the internal finance process will take place.
Take place, okay, yeah.
Motion by Commissioner Douglas to approve 20,000. Second by Commissioner Vila. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? It is approved, Joey.
Okay, thank you, guys.
Thank you. The next item is B, consideration of amendment to the solid waste contract with Valley Sanitation Agreement to increase the rates and change the dates of service. Sorry it took so long.
Chair. Manager Office Attorney Nance. I worked Attorney Nance, he drafted the amendment for us. And we overlooked it and we're okay with what he drafted. So asking for the approval of the commission to go ahead and move forward with this.
Mike? What is your recommendation?
I believe, reviewing with the county attorney, I believe a recommendation is to accept as is, as written, as reviewed, as revised.
Mr. Chairman, in the contract before you, you can see the amendments, the proposed amendment and the proposed dates and times. Certainly those are up for discussion, for negotiation if you so choose. I believe they were all based on data that was provided those. So if you're satisfied with that data, then that would probably be acceptable. One thing that I do want to point out is as far as the timing is concerned, the changes for the roll-off and the date changes for the convenience centers would go into effect upon approval and signature of the contract. The portion that discusses the increase in the convenience center fees does not go into effect until July 1st, is that right?
Yes.
Okay. I have a question, like for Magdalena, it's the first and third Friday, and Saturday of each month. So it'd be open 3 days a month?
It'd be 4 days a month.
4 days?
Friday and Saturday. First weekend, that's the first weekend.
Well, you heard the recommendation from our manager, Mike. We accept this, I need a motion. So move. Motion by Commissioner Aguilar. Second by Commissioner Seftiero. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, it is approved.
Thank you, Chairman, Commissioners.
Thank you. The next one is approval of correspondence to congressional delegates opposing the legislation for heavy semi trucks. I asked our attorney to put that as the agenda. It was sent from other counties.
Commissioners, members of the board, this is a request that for your consideration that was brought to us by the chairman. I guess there's a proposal to increase, or at least experimentally increase semi-truck weight to 90,000 pounds. Certainly, there could be some good with it. It might actually reduce the cost of transport and fuel, in that you're only running one truck instead of two in a certain situation. On the other hand, we know how damaging these trucks are to roads, and especially being in charge of county roads, then that's also a responsibility of this county. We also know how dangerous they are, especially when Commissioner Secretarial and I have to go on I-40. So it's up to you whether or not you would like to approve this or disapprove it. And if you do approve it, then Jennifer will send it to our congressional delegation.
The approval is to go up to 90,000?
The approval is to oppose going up to 90,000. To oppose it. So it's up to this board whether or not you would like to take a position or not.
I kind of like the 90,000.
I know about trucks and 80,000 is a lot of weight. That's what it is now. And 90,000 I don't know if I trust a lot of people driving something weighing 90,000, 91,000.
I need a motion to oppose it.
To approve the letter, a motion to approve the letter.
Yeah, approve the letter.
Which is opposing the trust.
Experimental.
That's right.
Is this supposed to be experimental?
Well, it's experimental unless they determine that it's to oppose the eventual placing allowing there to be 90,000 pound trucks.
Mr. Chairman, Attorney Nance, during COVID, didn't the governor raise the limit temporarily on trucks because of the, excuse me, because of the supply issues?
I don't know.
I think so. And I mean, and we have those issues too. I mean.
Well, say again, we need a motion either to oppose or to.
The motion would be to approve the letter which is opposing it.
Right.
Yeah, so no motion would be just no, nothing.
A no would be opposed the issuance of the letter.
So if you make the motion, you agree to this, you're saying we're
To leave it as is.
that we're not exploring the option of experimenting.
Basically, you can motion to sign the letter, which will oppose the heavier weight, or motion to not sign the letter, and then you're not opposing the weight.
Okay, commissioners.
Make the motion to not
sign the letter?
To not sign the letter. That right? So then I'm agreeing to the.
So
you're not ultimately you're not taking a position on it right now because the letter is only opposing it.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's whatever.
Second that.
Second by Commissioner Aguilar. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
I vote. Okay, so it's dead.
What was the? It's
3-1.
3-1. I voted right.
Okay, so it's that's right. It's dead.
Item D, consideration of Socorro County Courthouse window repair replacement bid proposal to include alternative 1, courthouse stucco, alternative 2, onboard construction contingent on receipt of funds that would include alternative 1 and alternative 2, elevator repair and replacement.
Chairman Martinez, Commission. This is a proposal for the courthouse by Longhorn in which they submitted a bid proposal with alternate 1, which is a stucco, alternate 2 to include the elevator refurbishing. So a passage would give us the authority to move on everything, including 1 and 2, in the event that we receive funding for alternate 1 and 2. So we're asking for the full authority because it's our belief that the funding is in the pipeline.
You heard the recommendation of our manager. Need a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Duggins. Second.
Now, is that the packet that we got from the book? Is that what that is? Was it last meeting that there was a book that was passed around? Is that what it is?
That's part and parcel of the project that is going on, the 1 point something million. Where we're refurbishing the windows and we have to match the stucco. Yes, that was that with all the photographs from Longhorn.
Do I have a second?
And what is the percentage of, at what stage are we at currently right now?
We met with them and we got the bid and they've already pulled one window. There's 7 windows that will be refurbished. And this is a phased project, but just ordering the windows take 2 to 3 months because of supply. So that's why it's phased. So as we get materials, we'll move it along. And they're thinking 9 months, but their hopes is to finish way before that, 4 to 5 months. And then we have to coordinate with the courts because we'll be working in the court system. So overall, close to $2 million project, but we have approximately 1.1 and change to get everything done. And the other money seems like it's in the pipeline, so we'll be able to stucco and elevator, which is drastically needed.
Any more questions?
Earlier in your manager's report, there was the possibility of that 300,000 for the elevator. Now that hasn't been signed yet, right, Governor?
Yeah, there's another 300,000 and then administrative office of the court. We already got an award letter, but the Supreme Court is taking their time at finishing. We already sent the IGA, the government agreement. We're just waiting for their signature, and that one's 710,000. So we're looking pretty good.
I'll second.
Second by Commissioner Secretarial.
Thanks, Mike.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? It is passed. Item E, consideration of IGA with the Village of Magdalena to provide fire services in Hot Canyon. Mike.
Mr. Chairman, and certainly I'll let the mayor speak to this, but basically what this agreement would do would be to turn the administration of the Hawk Canyon Fire District over to the Village of Magdalena. We would still be we would then provide them with the fire protection funds. They would go through the county, they would be routed through the county since we're the legal entity, but it would be utilized at the direction of the Village of Magdalena. Mr. Mayor, I'll let you know more about this than I do, so let you have at it.
The Magdalena Fire Department has been covering the Hawk Canyon District for about the last year and a half. We cover clear to the top of Cedillo Hill, Ketchum County line, 25 miles south of Magdalena and 25 miles north. So we've already been doing this. It'd be nice to have access to the station, more vehicles. There's a brand new brush truck up there. That'll help. We have one new fireman coming out up there. A past fireman that's stopped by Saturday. He wants to driver engineer. He can't do the heavy stuff. We have a couple other folks that are interested. We have 2 of our firemen live up there, so we have staffing in that area. As I said, we've been doing this for a year and a half. It'd be nice to have the trucks, but we do cover the whole Hawk Canyon district. So we're looking forward to it. Right now, they're running an EMT class out of the Magdalena Station, so we'll shift our training up to Hawk Canyon. I'll become familiar with the vehicles and the area and stuff. So we're looking forward to officially providing the service. So.
Okay.
Anybody have any questions?
I don't.
I'd like to thank Commissioner Duggins for bringing this therapy dog.
The therapy
dog to bed. Anybody have any questions or? Do we have a timeline? Mr. Hawks,
I think once, yeah, I mean, I think it all gets in the works once it's signed off on, given the go by the state fire marshal after the village approves it.
Okay.
Did you all approve it yet or not?
Yes, we did.
Oh,
We signed it right away.
So the next, just make sure the state fire marshal, working with, our fire marshal, make sure that they have everything in the works and then turn the keys over and do what we need to do.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, need a motion to accept provide the fire services to Hawk County.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Commissioner Duggins, second by Commissioner Secretary. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? It is approved. Go ahead.
Sure, thank you very much. Mr. Mayor, Craig Secretarial District 2, Alamo, I wanted to stop by that along the road. Every time I see you, you're always on the go. But I just wanted to say thank you very much for dispatching those fire trucks out to Alamo in the recent fires. So I just wanted to say thank you very much. We really do appreciate that.
We've been we started a dialogue with Alamo chapter. There are people up there that are interested. Right now, the trucks belong to the school district, so there's a issue there. I'd like to start a further dialogue with the main reservation for them to build a fire station. There are people who will volunteer, but we go up there, and I appreciate the folks that do step up, help move hose and things like that. So thank you very much. Anything we can do to improve that. Thank you.
Okay, item G, consideration of resolution 2024-28, 2025, New Mexico DOT GRT County Aerial Project Cap.
Chairman and Commission, if you remember, we brought CAT, Co-op, and SBR roads to the Commission, asking to make selections. And they were the selections that each commissioner decided to authorize. If you had a chance to look at your package, you'll see that the roads that were authorized are in the packet, along with the match funds that the county has to put forward. So I'd like to ask that, since you already approved them and you saw your roads in the packet and the money associated therein, if you would motion and approve G, H, and I, so we can submit.
So I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Motion by Commissioner Duggins to approve G, H, and I. Second by Commissioner Aguilar.
Yeah.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, they are approved. Item J, consideration of resolution 2024-31, 2025, a resolution and order approving request of Algrito del Sol Transmission LLC to use certain roads in Socorro County and other matters.
Mr. Chairman, members of the commission, this item is paired with the item that was adopted last time, where we received the cash payment from for the power lines. This is an order and resolution that is directing that they maintain the roads and build the roads, but back and better than they were, as good or better than they were. So I would suggest we approve this so that we, technically members of the public, including them, have the right to use these roads, and we want them fixed when they're done with them. So I would suggest that we approve this order.
So move.
Motion by Commissioner Aguilar to approve.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Secretary. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, it is approved. Acknowledge personnel changes. They give us a written report. You guys have it?
There is one. There is a packet in the. There is a sheet in the packet. So if we can just give this one back to. It's correct.
Okay, It's not a license.
Try your button.
Okay. Who wants to take that up?
I'll go ahead and do
Okay.
it. Carl Lewis, cadet, new hire. Raven Ganadenegro, cadet, new hire. Al Ganadenegro, labor termination. Ignacio Chavez, deputy, resigned. Daniel Chavez, labor, new hire. Chi Apachito, detention center, termination. And that is it.
I need a motion to acknowledge the personnel changes.
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Commissioner Secretary,
Second.
second by Commissioner Aguilar. All in favor signify by saying aye. Is it Glenn leave or, no, he's got it back in. Okay. Item 11, financial action items A and B, approval of vendor checks and approval of payroll checks. I've done both of them before, so.
Yeah, I just have one question.
Okay.
Just give me 1 second. The vendor checks. I just want to make sure I have the right figures, you know what I mean? Yeah. Let's see. Okay, I will go ahead and make the motion in terms of accepting 11A and B, combining both of them, approving the vendor checks with this handout, the amount of $194,130.89, dated for February 23rd. And then B, approval of payroll checks in the amount of $302,941.07, dated February 27th.
Okay, approval by Commissioner Secretary to approve. Here a second.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Aguilar. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Both approved. Okay, we have no executive session, correct?
Correct, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. The next item, the next thing is, next commission meeting is March the 12th at 5 p.m. Need a motion to adjourn?
Sure.
Motion by Commissioner Secretary to adjourn. I'll second the motion. All in favor signify by saying aye. We are adjourned. Thank you at